Basic appraisal procedures, page 202. The extravagant. Once constructed, the sections are loaded onto trailers and transported to the site where they are rolled off onto a conventionally built foundation. The advantage to this type of construction is that it can be quicker, has not been exposed to the elements, and can be very cost competitive with site-built houses. Many states have enacted laws that prohibit exclusion of this type of housing with zoning and restrictions. As time has passed, the acceptability of the factory-built house within most markets has increased. Manufactured houses. Until this point, nothing we have discussed would be termed a manufactured house, at least by major mortgage entities such as Fannie Mae. In 2003, communication regarding manufactured housing, Fannie Mae offered the following definition of a manufactured house: any dwelling unit built on a permanent chassis and attached to a permanent foundation system is a manufactured home. For purposes of Fannie Mae's guidelines, other factory-built housing not built on a permanent chassis, such as modular, prefabricated, panelized, or sectional housing, is not considered manufactured housing and continues to be eligible for financing under the guidelines stated in the selling guide. It is important for appraisers to recognize this definition, as appraisal guidelines for Fannie Mae and some others require additional analysis, research, and reporting. For Fannie Mae, appraisals of manufactured houses are reported on the URAR form with an addendum known as the 1004C. To qualify for secondary market financing through Fannie Mae, the property must meet the following criteria. FHA has similar guidelines. The manufactured home must be built in compliance with federal manufactured home construction and safety standards established June 15, 1976, as amended and enforced at the time the home is manufactured, and that appear in HUD regulations at 24 CFR Part 3280. Compliance with these standards will be evidenced by the presence of a HUD data plate that is affixed in a permanent manner near the main electrical panel or in another readily accessible and visible location. The manufactured home must be a one-family dwelling that is legally classified as real property. The towing hitch, wheels, and axles must be removed, and the dwelling must assume the characteristics of site-built houses. The land on which the manufactured home is situated must be owned by the borrower in fee simple, unless the manufactured home is located in a cooperative or condominium project. Mortgages secured by manufactured homes located on leasehold estates are not. Page 203. Eligible. Multi-width manufactured homes may be located either on an individual lot or in a project development, for instance, cooperative, condominium, PUD, or subdivision. Mortgages secured by single-width manufactured homes are eligible for delivery to Fannie Mae only if the manufactured home is located in a cooperative, condominium, or PUD project. Project acceptance is required for multi-width and single-width manufactured homes if the project development is a cooperative or condominium. Project acceptance is also required if the property is a single-width manufactured home and the project is a PUD. In the case of cooperatives, both land and dwelling must be owned by the cooperative. In the case of condominiums, both the land and dwelling must be subject to the condominium regime. The manufactured home must be at least 12 feet wide and have a minimum of 600 square feet of gross living area. Further, the manufactured home must have sufficient square footage and room dimensions to be acceptable to typical purchasers in the market area. They do not specify other minimum requirements for size, roof pitch, or any other specific construction details. The manufactured home must be attached to a permanent foundation system in accordance with the manufacturer's requirements for anchoring, support, stability, and maintenance. The foundation system must be appropriate for the soil conditions of the site and meet local and state codes. If the property is not situated on a publicly dedicated and maintained street, then it must be situated on a street that is community owned and maintained or privately owned and maintained. There must be adequate vehicular access, and there must be an adequate and legally enforceable agreement for vehicular access and maintenance. The manufactured home must be permanently connected to a septic tank or sewage system and to the other utilities in accordance with local and state requirements. Important points. Appraisers need to know the difference between factory-built, manufactured, and site-built homes. Fannie Mae does not accept mortgage loans for manufactured homes unless they meet certain criteria, similar to FHA guidelines. Parts of houses. All parts of a house are important, other than the interior decor. Each serves a useful function. The exterior is important to a home's strength, insulation, and the level of maintenance required. Windows provide a means of letting light in and keeping cold air out. Doors provide a means of security, entry, and insulation on the outside and privacy inside. Previously, we discussed some of the different types and styles of roofs that you will commonly see on houses. Let's build on that.